We get a chance every Monday morning, Danny and I, to sit down with the head coach, and I asked him very specifically about a run game. I think a lot of people have been asking about, is this guy's averaged just 3.2 yards a carry over the last 4. This week you're going to face the number 1 rush defense in all the NFL. That's the Arizona Cardinals, and a very good front 7. And I thought this play from the Giants game was a pretty good example, a little bit indicative of maybe where the run game has been the last 4 weeks. It's close, and when the head coach says we're going to keep slamming it, we're going to keep pounding the rock, because he knows it takes one big play. It takes maybe at times just one little block, because if you give this guy a crease, you know what beast mode's going to do. So this ends up being Marshawn's touchdown run, which was nothing short of spectacular with his effort. And up front, it was good. It just wasn't great. And I think really that's been the trend over the last 4 weeks. It's good. Guys, many of them are getting on their marker, but maybe they're not finishing. Maybe they're not getting that extra edge. It's just not been great. And thus, in this league, playing good opponents, and the Giants, a top 10 rush defense. Arizona, as I said, the number 1 rush defense. Good isn't good enough. You have got to be great in your technique. This play is called bunch right, 48 toss crack. And what you see is everybody on the backside doing their job, and a nice job and effort of guys trying to throw and roll longer. All these guys doing a good enough job. In fact, almost a plus grade to get these 3 on the ground. The New York Giants, this is called toss crack. Actually a really good job by Sweezy as well, pushing his defensive tackle into the end zone. And toss crack is just simply, obviously, Russell getting out to Marshawn on the edge. And when you run this play, you've got to be very good, like most run plays, at the point of attack. And the point of attack, and exactly why Zach Miller, your best blocker of any skill position guy you have, is right there lined up, because he's going to block down. And ideally, you would have loved to seen him get on to Tuck, and Baldwin's helping out as well. And that's a safety, okay, that's their nickel safety that they're 2-on-1 with. And unfortunately, as you watch this play, see this play itself out, okay, it's toss, and it's crack, and you're pulling Breno Giacomini, you're actually pulling Luke Wilson around. So numbers-wise, you're in pretty good shape. You get a hat on a hat, and these guys trying to push back. But as you see, and why this is indicative, it's not effort. Effort has been great. I don't think it's play call. I like this play call. It's a little bit of technique, and it's a little bit of finish. And as you watch this play evolve, you will actually see Doug and Zach both start on the safety, working towards Justin Tuck, and they actually both leave that block instead of finishing that block and driving that blocker into Tuck and clearing a lane. Well, Zach actually gets bumped off, nicks Tuck, Doug's on him, lets go of him, and you have right at the point of attack beast mode on a safety. Thankfully, the dude's superhuman. He runs through him. He runs through some of the other garbage that comes and affects it, but you need more. In order to be great, you got to win on that block. You've got to get the push. You got to win at the point of attack. And I'll leave you with this. Tom Lovat, the line coach with the Seahawks when I got drafted, I will never forget one of the first meetings I was in with him. He would remind all these linemen, this is no longer high school football where you dominate people. This is no longer college football where most weeks, if you're physically in forceful and dominant, you can beat your opponent. This is the NFL where your technique has to be right, where your effort has to be unbelievable, and how everyone's got to be on the same page. And you can't leave a defensive player unblocked right at the point of attack unless maybe you got beast mode.